Hi everyone, hope you're all doing good. Okay, so this is the fifth round draw for the 36th edition of the Tapology Lucky Bastard Game. So we're right at the business end of this competition now. Just two people remain in the game, or well, three people, but two entrants in the game. They are Jordan and Pippin, the alliance between QQQ, uh, and Spockling. This is the furthest an alliance has ever got in the game, I believe. Could be wrong, but I don't think an alliance has ever got to the fifth round before. Um, I know for sure an alliance has never won the game, but this is a very good chance for them to change that statistic. Um, and of course, the other person still in it is the Dirty UFC Man. Uh, so you have Jordan and Pippin versus the Dirty UFC Man here. For this game, for this round rather. And just to run over a few sort of permutations. Obviously, if you both get winning fighters, you both go through to the next round, a sixth round, and we carry on until we do get a conclusion. Um, Obviously, if one of you gets a winning fighter and the other gets a losing fighter, then the one with the winning fighter will be crowned champion, and we go on to a new game next week. Or worst case scenario, you both get losing fighters and regrettably, the wheel would be crowned the champion, um, which we just don't want. We that's the worst thing that can happen in this game. We can't have the wheel winning another uh, Lucky Bastard game title. So hopefully, if it doesn't end this week, at least eventually one of you will win it. But but anyway, for this round, we've got UFC Fight Night from Canada. Gilbert Burns versus Mike Malott headlining it, and it's a classic headlining fight that the UFC put on, really. The veteran versus the contender and the rising prospects. Obviously, the veteran in Gilbert Burns and the prospect in Mike Malott. And of course, Malott being a hometown favourite too, from being from Canada. I'll start with Gilbert Burns because the veteran of the sport is obviously he's fought all the best at welterweight. He's been in there with pretty much everyone. But recently he's on a bit of a losing streak. And to his credit, though, the guys that he's on a losing streak with are all top level guys. Bilal Muhammad, for instance, Medellania, obviously most recently Michael Moraes, and who stopped him. And so yeah, it's not the best recent form for him, but he is getting older. He's 39, 38, something like that, I believe now. So he's late 30s. And so yeah, his time is catching up with him a bit. But he's still a very tough fighter. Mike Malott, on the other hand, is building a steady career for himself, gradually getting himself further up the rankings, getting himself starting to become a contender, or at least a noteworthy person in the UFC welterweight rankings. And Gilbert Burns is now the sort of gatekeeper he has to beat to really sort of break into the higher end of the rankings. And I reckon he will. I can't see him finishing Burns. I think Burns still got too much fight in him for that. So I'm going to go with Malott for a decision win here. But of course, you're not here to listen to my rambles, even though that is a side effect of watching these videos. You're here to see who you're going to get drawn with. So, without further ado, let's get on with the game. Make sure I'm actually sharing the screen on the right page. Yep, for the wheel here. And our first of two is Jordan and Pippin. Uh, so let's see who Jordan and Pippin are going to be paired with for tomorrow night's action. And they get Robert Valentin there for uh, Jordan and Pippin. So that is uh, their fighter in a very close fight against Julian LeBlanc on the prelims. Personally, I have sided with LeBlanc for this, but simply on the basis of uh, uh, well, I mean, it's much better form because trying to find a way of sugarcoating it, seeing they've been drawn with Valentin, but he's on a three-fight losing streak. Um, yeah, it's not a good run of form really. Obviously, for LeBlanc, the UFC are going to want to try and have a hometown. Well, it'd be good for them to have a hometown winner in LeBlanc winning on their card in Canada. Valentin, the more experienced of the two, and it has fought better competition, in my opinion. But I still think he should be the underdog here, um, given the circumstances. So again, there's a slight bookies favourite for Jordan and Pippen there, but personally, I think LeBlanc gets this done. So I think Jordan and Pippen might need a little bit of luck, might need a magical six pointer or whatever they call it in basketball, where you sort of get you out of a tricky spot or something. I don't know, but Jordan and Pippen with Robert Valentin. So now we move on to the Dirty UFC man. Obviously, that's the last person to be drawn. It's only Serviu. Let's see who the Dirty UFC man is going to be drawn with. And he gets Karine Silva. Karine Silva there for the Dirty UFC man. And Karine Silva, obviously, excuse me, got running nose, obviously up against just Jasmine Jasudavicius, who, funny enough, Jasudavicius is on the Tapology Lucky Bastard Game Hall of Fame, which, just for anyone that doesn't know, every time a fighter wins a game for a user, not the wheel, but an actual user, that fighter gets inducted into the Tapology Lucky Bastard Game Hall of Fame, a ranking I've made on Tapology. And so, for instance, if Kareem Silva won and Robert Valentin lost, or vice versa, they would get added to that Hall of Fame. And Kareem Silva up against Jasmine Jasudavicius. Can't remember off the top of my head who she won it for, but or which edition it was. But she is in the Hall of Fame for it, or the Lucky Bastard Game Hall of Fame. Um, and ironically, I think she could be preventing a potential win here this time because obviously the opponents are Green Silver and favourite, and it should be heavy favourite too. To be honest, lost her last fight against Manion Fiorot, but Fiorot very much one of the top flyweights in the world right now. So there's not a lot of shame in that loss. Green Silver herself coming off a loss, an overall worse form, but again similar situation. She lost to Macy Barber, who again arguably one of the best flyweights in the world. So yeah, it's not really a lot of difference in terms of their positions, but and Silver again is the more experienced of the two fighters, but younger too as well, which I wouldn't have thought. To be honest, I'd have thought that Jasuda Vicious would be younger, but uh, overall, Jasuda Vicious has fought and for the most part beaten better quality of competition than Green Silver has. Particularly the wins over Jessica Andrade stick to mind and comes up. So it's and of course should have the hometown bias as well, being Canadian. So it's kind of unfortunate. They've both been drawn against Canadians on this card. Not saying the judges will be biased necessarily, but we all know how honest Canadians are. But it is an unconscious factor to consider. So Overall, I think the Dirty UFC man's going to need even more luck than Jordan and Pippen. Okay, so that concludes the Tapology Lucky Bastard game. 36th edition, fifth round draw. So, yeah, just to go through that again, Jordan and Pippen with Robert Valentin, and the Dirty UFC man with Karine Silva. Personally, I think, unfortunately, I think the wheel's going to end up winning this. But hopefully that turns out not to be the case. And if one of the fighters, I'd rather be in Jordan and Pippin's position with Robert Valentin if I had to pick. But because I can't see Karine Silva winning at all, if I'm being honest. Valentin's got a chance, but unfortunately, I think our worst fears might get realised, and we might actually have the wheel win the lucky bastard game. Hopefully, it doesn't come to that. But all that leaves me to say is we'll just have to see what plays out tomorrow night, and good luck to you two, and obviously good luck with your predictions on Tapology, and if you've got any bets on this card, good luck with those. But until next time, so long for now.